Yes, I know I'm early. Close enough, though. Dun. Thank you for telling me that I'm. Thank you for telling me a notification that I've gone live. Because I'm pretty sure I know that I've gone live. Or I did just hit the button by mistake and, like, oh my god, I'm live? What's going on? Although it'd be funny if someone tuned in as I was saying that, oh my god, I'm live? What's going on? What's up, everyone? I am the Kaiju no Kami on this very. Oh, there's only one person online right now. So, hello, one person online right now. 3 people online right now. 4. All right. So, now I'm back to 3. Nick Cooper, Anthony Sarkis, Pokemon Trainer Salad, Tokusatsu fan Jake Schuster. Wait a minute. There's 5 names on here, but there's only 3 people listed as being online there. Who is cheating? I'll just give it a moment for more people to get on here. As I said, obviously, someone heard me say, I think, that I'm like, I'm early, but close enough. Hello, Jam Kalex, Jake Schuster, Tokusatsu fan 1996, Kran002, Pokemon Trainer Salad, Anthony Sarkis, Nick Cooper, Jake Schuster. I just said to you. Hi. Okay. Cool. My little mini K&K is here in case I need to run to get some water or blow my nose or something else, whatever happens. It is a very hot Saturday morning. In fact, it is currently 90 degrees, which is why I'm sweating right now and why my hair is like all frizzing out. But I brought water with me this time, so I don't have to run and get water. And it's in my Kaiju no Kami water bottle that you can buy on the store with the Kaiju no Kami t-shirt and all the other Kaiju no Kami stuff I have. Except now my water bottle has some dents in there, as you can see. It's let's see, this dent here was from falling onto the floor in a classroom. These dents up here were from falling off of a moving car because I kind of put my water bottle on top of our car and forgot about it, and we're driving off and like, what's that jiggling sound? And then all of a sudden saw something fall off the rooftop and heard a clang and like, oh wait, that's my water bottle. But one thing to note, it stuck to the car for about to part of the driveway, go down one part of a little ways to the turn to another turn, and that's where it fell off. So these water bottles are pretty durable, can stick to cars. They're pretty durable. And yes, it is hot. And naturally, because I'm doing a live stream, my nose decided, hey, I'm going to be like everywhere today. I might be running, I might be stuffy. It doesn't matter. All right, let's see. So Nick Cooper asked, how are you doing on this fine Saturday? I am good, but moving sucks because hopefully you guys can hear me over the motorcycle sounds. We're getting ready to move to a new apartment. We were trying to get a house. That was a no-go for right now. You done interrupting my live stream? Okay. I deal with it all the time when I'm recording my videos. But so we're moving to a new apartment. So things are getting taken apart here because I don't like to procrastinate when it comes to moving. We have too much crap to procrastinate. Like, okay, those two storage bins there, those are full of Blu-rays and DVDs. Just Blu-rays and DVDs. But if you look at the shelf over there, it doesn't look like we have packed much of anything. Now, granted, one of those containers is mostly anime. Actually, one of those containers is, well, anime and some Toku stuff. Whereas that shelf is mostly movies, but I've moved some of the anime over there. But yeah, it doesn't look like we have moved at all. Like, the glass cases are finally starting to look like I've been taking things out of them, because I have. Like, I was just packing up my Legacy Zords. But it doesn't look like we are moving. Or it doesn't look like we've done anything yet to prepare to move. Even though we have. We have tons of boxes and containers in the garage stacked up of stuff we've already packed up. So yes, moving sucks. But it's cool. We're moving to a 3-bedroom apartment because we've outgrown this place. We've been here for 10 years, and we need to go. It's just gotten to the point where, like, we're done. Let's see. But seriously, what else have we done? Well, we've been watching a lot of film noirs. I don't know if you've ever played the game LA Noire that came out in 2011, but there were 50 film reels that you could that were collectible film reels in the game, and each one was named after a film noir that helped inspire missions in the game. So finally, after 10 years of collecting those movies, I now own and have watched 48 of the 50. It doesn't really mean anything to you guys, but that was like my film noir list. I was like, okay, I'm going to start my film noir list with these ones and branch out from there. So finally, gotten to watch 48 of the 50. And the only reason we haven't done 49 and 50 is because they're not available on Blu-ray in America. Well, one of them has not been released on Blu-ray, period, yet. And the other one has only been released on Blu-ray in the UK. It's nothing like you guys, some of you play, so, but it's something for me. Also, I've been catching up on the One Piece manga. Finally, I figured it was time to finally read Dressrosa. So I am in the middle of Law's backstory, which is so I'm in the middle of volume 77. Kurelika has been reading this series. Wait, this is After School Hanako-kun. Okay, this is the one. That must be a special one. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. Kurelika has been reading that, and My Hero Academia. We've been watching Lupin the Third Part 1. It's my first Lupin series, and I'm really loving it. We finished the first disc, which is the first 10 episodes. Really good show. There have been a lot of truly remarkable episodes so far. Let's see. What else have we done besides move and stress and move? Well, pack up and stress and pack up more, and then stress because of the $1,000 rent increase that we're going to have in the new place. Obviously, I got through Kamen Rider Fies. I am working on Ultraman Mabius very, very slowly. I finished the first 4 episodes on disc 2 yesterday. I'm liking it so far. It's not the most exciting Ultra series, but I'm not completely bored with it. I like so far that each of the characters, especially in the last 2 episodes, have been getting their own focus episodes. Like I did one with, oh my god, now I can't think of her name, Marina, and with her biker boss in the forest. And there was one, the last one I watched had one of the other members, Ippei, with his mom, learning that he's part of the military organization now. So that's been kind of cool. Mabius has been, so far, Mabius himself, I should say. Not Hikaru. Mirai, future Mirai. He's been an okay protagonist. Nothing spectacular. Let's see. I will get to your comments or questions in a moment. Last one I looked at was Netcron's How's Life Kaiju. Oh, by the way, so the live stream is called Everything Strange at Bob's Burgers because those are the 3 movies that I've been meaning to do quickie reviews for. Doctor Strange, I got sick the weekend when we saw it, so I wasn't able to record. And then the school year was so busy for the last month, I just didn't have time to record a quickie for Doctor Strange. So I think what I'm going to do for Doctor Strange is do a spoiler talk video. So it'll be kind of like a quickie review, but it's going to be just talking about my favorite scenes and stuff like that with spoilers. Since it's been out for over a month, I figured by now everyone that was going to go see it has seen it. And I'll label it spoiler talk so that people know that if they want to see it and they haven't seen it yet, they should not watch that video. And then I want to do a quickie review of Bob's Burgers, the movie, which was awesome, and Everything Everywhere All at Once, which we saw last week, which was utterly incredible. Let's see. Non-Toku stuff. I've been playing the Spider-Man on the PS5, the remastered version, just platinum the main game. Now I've got to go through the DLC, and then I want to play Miles Morales, finally. Been selling off some Marvel Legends to help with moving costs. And it'll be weird to record in a new apartment. It will be really weird because I'm not going to be recording in the figure room anymore. The plan is we're getting a 3-bedroom apartment because Krelika works from home now, and her office right now is in our bedroom, which gets kind of annoying when she's going to have like a meeting at 7 a.m. and I'm still kind of sleeping because I was up till like 2 a.m. So our 3rd bedroom is going to become her office and my studio. So I'll be recording in a new room. Won't have the figure shelves. I'm going to probably record because we're also planning to put like our books in that room, in the office room. So I'll probably just be recording in front of the bookshelves. So it'll be different. It won't be the same. But I'm also going to be able to have the green screen up at all times. So if I want to record in front of the green screen, I can. Which will be nice because I hate putting up the green screen, taking it down, putting it back up, taking it down, especially during Halloween month because it's always in the way. This way now I don't have to have it in the figure room with everything. The bummer is you won't have the figures in the background anymore. But whatever. It's also cool because there'll be new stuff, new backgrounds. Like you won't have all these, because of the new wall layout, you won't see all these pictures behind me when I do live stream, which is kind of a bummer. But it's okay. There's actually a computer desk that's in a better location, a built-in computer desk, that I might just end up doing my live streams from there. Downside is rent's going up $1,000 for us. So yeah, that kind of sucks. All right. Have I rambled on enough, or is there anything else I wanted to talk about? Lupin the Third, Spider-Man, Ultra Mabius, Spies, movies. All right, let's get to some comments since they're probably stacking up and people are like, get to reading the comments already. How's Life Kaiju? Yes, I read that one. I hope you just heard the whole life story. Jake Schuster, what do you think of Kamen Rider Vice's final form? We have actually not watched those episodes yet, Jake. Silver Quill is supposed to be coming over today. So the plan is to watch the last 2 episodes today, record, and hopefully the last 2 episodes of Down Brothers and record. So I haven't heard that he's not coming over today, so that's the plan for today. Let me see. Maybe I have a text now saying he's not coming over. But no. Oh, no. That's Don McCullum sending me a message on Facebook. Okay. I was going to say, did you hit Silver Quill? I have not hit Silver Quill because I haven't seen him for 2 weeks. Badrabali, have you got Mabius box set? Yes, yet. I hope you heard me just talk about that. And yes, I did an unboxing video for it. What was that noise? It's one of the neighbors and his motorcycle. The interesting part about where this apartment is located is we're right by an airport. So every time I'm recording videos, I have to freeze what I'm doing because I'll have a jet flying overhead, or we'll have like a military copter flying overhead. And then we've got like one guy has a motorcycle, another neighbor has like a race car that he'll rev up at times to test out. It's an interesting lot in this complex. I'm going to be curious to see how the new complex goes, if it's going to be a little bit quieter or not. Jake Schuster, oh, that became an anime. What became an anime? Necron, also, the One Piece manga is going to be on hiatus, so it'll be over. Yes, I'm excited for the final arc, which is one of the... Actually, it was interesting because I started reading wanting to catch up on One Piece before the announcement was made that Oda was taking a month break to do... to work on the final... to plan out the final arc. So I'm like, oh, perfect timing. I'm at volume 77 right now. 99 is the newest volume that's out. So I'll be reading up through 99, and probably by the time I finish 99, 100 will have just come out from Viz. Russian Warrior, Sun Wanderer, sorry I'm late. No need to be sorry. I mean, this is like going to be like 2-3 hours as usual. You're never late. You're simply on time when you meant to arrive. And I was rambling a lot, so you didn't miss much. Brennan Gabriel, all your drinks from Naruto is going to be crushed, maybe because of Boruto. So basically, if you know that anime, I hope no one cries because that's what the anime is going to do. Jake Schuster, if I had money, I would get some Revice and Don Brothers merchandise, I'm assuming. You know, these days I'm picky on what I want to get. I don't like, because of how shows have been disappointments in the long run, I don't like buying merchandise to a show while it's airing. I want to make sure I'm going to like the show in the long run before I get the merch. So it's kind of weird how because obviously by the time the show ends, the merch, all the merch is clearanced out or super expensive. But that's just how I roll, baby. Okay. GMKLX, it's funny that crew guys had trans ammo before Gundam 00 did it. Speaking of which, I have a few screenshots I need to post on Twitter of little jokes I have made for comments with the name guys for their organization. Oh my god. Some of them are like, well, that's kind of sexist. I want to see how that goes when I post them. Let's see, Jake Schuster, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness coming to Disney Plus June 22nd. Oh, perfect. Then my spoiler talk is just in time. Actually, that's pretty quick, though. Wow. That's only a month and a half in theaters. Damn. What, Russian Wanderer, did you think G Gundam would be good for beginners? Yeah, no. The only reason I don't think G Gundam would be good for beginners is because it's nothing like any other Gundam series. So the hard part is if you go in, you watch G Gundam, and then you expect all the other series to be like G Gundam, you're going to be severely disappointed. It's kind of like Wing. Wing, a lot of people saw Wing first, and then none of the other Gundam series at the time were the same as Wing. It wasn't until 00 when we got something that was similar style and did Wing better than Wing. Anthony Sarkis, what do you think of the Kamen Rider manga? I actually have not had the chance to read it yet. I've been backlogged, and as I said, I'm trying to get One Piece done with now, and then I want to read. I just recently got the X-Men omnibuses that cover the pre-Claremont era. So the ones Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, Neil Adams did. So I want to read all of those. But I'll get to the Kamen Rider manga sooner rather than later because I do want to review it. Rashomon, I started watching it as a first series. I gotcha. Just as long as you don't expect every Gundam series to be like G Russian, you should be fine. But then again, if you like G, if you hate G, then you'll be happy to know the other series aren't like it. Seriously, now there's construction vehicles going on out there? Ugh. Wow. Okay, anyway, hopefully you can hear me. Since now they're getting very closer. Tokusatsu fan, 1996. Since Mill Creek released Gridman, they should release other Subaraya shows like Mirrorman, Fireman, Jumborg, Ace. They might. I mean, it will all depend if Subaraya wants to market those shows in America or if they just want to stick to the Ultra stuff. I think Gridman might have been a special occasion because of the anime as well. But it would be cool. I'm down for any Toku releases in America. Yeesh, $1,000. Yep. And that's actually cheap because the 3-bedroom apartment jam we just got is $2,750 a month, and I mean I guess it's not technically it's just under $1,000, but it's $2,750 a month, and that's cheap because like right now we're looking at what the 3 bedrooms right now are going for, and like in the last week, Krelika just did it just to see what she wanted to see for competition wise, and it's like the cheapest now are $3,300 a month. Now the cool thing is the new apartment's only like 5 minutes away from here, so it's not a long trip to get to the new place when we move things back and forth. Nick Cooper. Speaking of Kamen Rider, I finished Kuga. What an amazing show! I've seen also Yusuke was one of the most inspiring protagonists I've ever seen. Yusuke was a great character. He really was. He's like the Superman of Kamen Rider as far as personality goes. Kram. Also, I saw the Black Adam trailer. It looked pretty good. I haven't watched the trailer. I will probably either watch it when someone shows it to me or when I see it in the theaters. I don't, unless it's something I truly have to see a trailer for. I don't really go out of my way to watch trailers anymore because they spoil too much. And like Black Adam, I'm not sure I care enough to care. By the way, I watched the Japanese version, so to me, Burning Gundam is God Gundam. I've watched it both ways, and I still consider God Gundam and Tequila Gundam and Devil Gundam. But then I also knew those were the names before I even watched it, G Gundam. I had a book, Protoculture Addicts, that talked about all the Gundam series when Wing was in America. Kind of also had spoiler descriptions for Gundam Wing, so I kind of wish I hadn't read the episode synopses for each episode because I kind of got spoiled, but whatever. I was 18 at the time. Actually, no, I was 17 at the time, so I didn't care. Fun fact, the actor who played the human form of Fireman is Naoya Makoto, who played Aka Ranger and Growl Ranger. Fireman? Fireman. I don't know Fireman. I watched Wing for mobile suit designs and Turne for the art style. Badra Bali, unfortunately, Doctor Strange got banned here in Egypt, all because of small reference to America Chavez having 2 moms. Yeah, I don't understand that, Badra. I think that's so childish. All these cultures need to just grow the fuck up. If your culture, I'm all for whatever your religious beliefs are, whatever your culture is. I love the stories that come out of Egyptian culture. But if it's tradition to discriminate against someone for who they love, for how they think, how they act, maybe it's time to get some new traditions. So yeah, I think that was bullshit, Badra. I hope you can find another way to watch it. Brennan Gabriel. Yes, they're going to kill off your favorite characters from Naruto. You know, like Baruto, they're going to kill them all, the lovable characters. Cool. Russian Wanderer, is Kelly coming over? Corellica's at work right now, so it depends if she gets here before I finish this live stream or not. Lane Kramer. So hey Kaiju, did Ultraman Trigger have a movie come out this year since Shin Ultraman? Yeah, Trigger had a movie come out. You can actually rent it on some site. I don't know how legit this site is. I guess they're legit. And I guess you get the movie rental for 7 days. But I don't know how exactly it works. And apparently that site's the only way you can watch the new Absolute Conspiracy sequel in Japanese. Otherwise, you have to watch it dubbed on YouTube, which I think is kind of bullshit. But whatever. Sorry, Gabriel. I know nothing of Naruto, so I don't even know who Baruto is. Nick Crown, has Neil Creek announced they'll do Taiga next? Haven't heard from what they're going to do. They haven't made their announcements for August or September yet. They don't have the license to Taiga as of right now. So my guess is the next release will probably be Max. Well, July has Zerth and Children, which looks very, very terrible. But I haven't gotten any Mill Creek request for him yet, actually. For July's. But July is Zerth and Children. They haven't set. I haven't seen any announcements for August yet. My guess is, though, the next regular series will probably be Max, because they'll probably go backwards now. I mean, they're down to a few. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind if they took a few more months to release another full-length series, because I'm kind of burnt out on Ultraman. But it is what it is. Okay. But yeah, they haven't said anything next. Gabriel, Neon Genesis. Jake Schuster, I want to see Shin Kamen Rider and Shin Ultraman. Oh, Evangelion anime. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I want to see the Shin Ultraman, Shin Kamen Rider. And when are we going to get Shin Go Ranger? That's the only one missing. Unless you get Shin Gavon. But then again, we already kind of had that, and it sucked. Only saw 3 episodes now. What we're talking about, yes, new. Russian Runner, I don't mind the background noise. Brendan Gabriel, Acel, Preachers, Savig Mignon, Genesis, like said, rebuild. It was kind of light on my tablet. I broke my tablet tomorrow. Wow, you're going to break your tablet tomorrow? Damn, dude. You already saw the future? Maybe you could try to avoid breaking your tablet tomorrow. Nick Cooper, speaking of Gundam, I'm watching my first Gundam series called Iron Blooded Orphans, and it kicks ass. Also, the mech looks freaking cool. I liked Iron Blooded Orphans. It's not perfect, but I call it the godfather of Gundam because it's very gangster at times, especially in the second season towards the end. Oh my god, father. I heard the 3 villains in Dawn Brothers are based on classic Toku heroes. Yes, I can't keep track of the heroes of who they're based on, but yes, I've read that as well. What's the next Sentai review? I don't know, JG, because I haven't started any Sentai. I'm going to... My plan is to have 1 Sentai review this year, because I don't want to let the whole franchise build up. I mean, now that Zenkaiju's over, I have 7 titles, 7 completed titles I have to review. So I'd like to at least knock out 1 so that when Dawn Brothers ends next year, I can still have 7 completed titles to review. I'm thinking either Go Busters or Q Ranger will most likely be next. because I'd love to just knock Q Ranger out. But at the same time, I kind of want to watch Go Busters again, and then it would give me a reason to watch Beast Morphers. Pokemon Trainer Salad. I'm currently watching Ghost Sager. Honestly, it isn't as bad as others make it out to be. I'm halfway in. It's fun to ride, though it isn't without its flaws. Ghost Sager is one of those Sentai shows that's not bad, but not very good either. It's just there. It's a good one-time watch. It has good moments. It has stuff where you're like, okay, I'm glad I watched the show all the way through, but it's not going to be anything jaw-dropping. Yes, I broke my tablet enough about what we told. Russian Wanderer. Why did you use the English version of some Gundam series? Huh? What do you mean, Russian? Why did you use the English version of some Gundam series? I'm not sure I follow you. Better than Gabriel. I hate the whole entire franchise because I became obsessed with it. Those are just my opinions. Ultraman Connection official website. Yeah, the Ultraman Connection. Lane Kramer, the follow-up to Conspiracy is only dubbed on YouTube. At least last time I checked. Maybe that changed. People said they were going to add it the following week, but I never saw it go up, so I'm not sure. Junior Kilgore. Hello. Hello. I wish we could get Taiga released. That one I'm actually really interested to see. I know you were kind of met on Trigger, but I liked it decently, minus the Emperor, a fugly Cretaceous as the final boss. I really want to see Taiga. I've heard good things about that one. So it would be cool if Mill Creek could update their license and get Taiga and Zets and Trigger. Can you review from Tokusatsu Fan 1996? Can you review the Tokusatsu series Warrior of Love Rainbow Men at some point in the future? It's a 1972 series produced by Toho. I will have to look into it to see if it's been fan subbed. If so, I'll download it and throw it into my files of shows to eventually get to. When Mill Creek is done with Ultraman, I have finished Sentai and Kamen Rider. I mean, the cool thing about Showa era series is that they're not as complicated to review as modern series are, because the modern series sometimes is like, oh my god. There are some series, like when I was watching X-Aid, I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to review this? There are way too many forms in this thing. How do I do this? How can I balance this? Same with even 01. I'm like, how am I going to review this one? Do I talk about all these forms? Do I just talk about a little bit of them? How long is this review going to be? Is it going to be like 9 pages? Because Jesus Christ, people. So sometimes new Toku series can be overwhelming when I'm watching them to review, and I'm like, oh my god. Like actually Fives. I did not intend for that review to be the review script was 7 pages. I did not intend for. I expected. I was like, it's probably gonna be 5 to 6, 7 pages, and 7 pages might not sound like a lot for a review script, but when you're editing 50 episodes worth of footage, 7 pages is a lot. Oh my god, 7 pages is definitely a lot. Sometimes 5 pages can be a lot when editing. I mean, it'd be easier if I was allowed to use more than like 8 to 12 seconds worth of clips in my reviews without having to worry about the copyright stuff, but then I could have like an entire scene without having to do a cut. But that's not how it works. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, Google. Making my life harder. Why do I have to put so much work in these reviews? Why can't these reviews just edit themselves? I mean, seriously, everyone thinks reviews online edit themselves. So those YouTubers, they're lazy. They don't want to work. Yeah, I don't care how detailed that review is. That review fully edited themselves. They didn't do any work. They just sat in front of a camera, recorded, and the review was made. Okay. Anyway, do, 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 do. Brennan, I sadly don't know who you're talking about with Barto and Sligo and. Okay. Russian Wanderer. Then will you do Gridman the Ultraman of Cutie Honey live? I probably won't be tackling Cutie Honey the live for a long time. I mostly got the Blu-ray now just to support another Toku release. But I mean, it is 26 episodes, and I could use a shorter Toku series. So maybe I could do it sooner rather than later. But right now, you'll probably see the Ultraman this year, for sure. Most likely. Gridman, maybe. It also depends. I'm going to start applying for some full-time teaching positions. We kind of need the money. So if I get a full-time teaching position, then the whole channel is going to have a lot less full-length reviews consistently. I'm still going to do stuff with the channel, but you won't see full-length reviews as consistent. My school district had a complete mass exodus going on because of some events that occurred earlier this year. So I might be able to land a full-time position, which would be nice and frustrating because I wouldn't be able to have focus as much on the channel during that school year. But money right now is kind of more important. Badra, I wonder if Nexus release is going to include the prequel movie The Next, as the film saw massive sales on Amazon Japan after Shin Ultraman's box office success. From what my understanding is, The Next will be part of the Nexus set. So it'll probably be 4 to 5 discs for Nexus, and then disc 6 will be The Next. Now, I kind of hope the subtitles are better than the next subtitles were on the Region 2 DVD, because I have the Region 2 DVD. But it probably will be the same. In fact, it'll probably just be the same disc, which the downside is that the video quality for that disc is terrible. The encoding on that movie is awful looking. Okay. Patty Maffei. Throw some random Showa Toku no one knows into the Shinverse. Could work. Get some exposure. Pokemon Trainer Salad. I'm caught up on Don Brothers. I haven't been more excited into a Sentai since Kyoruger. Don Brothers I've been loving a lot. Probably the most since Geki Ranger. Necrom, yeah, guessing Mill Creek won't be doing Taiga for right now, so I could see them doing Max or Nexus. Yeah, I'm guessing Max, and what they're probably going to do is it'll be Max, then Nexus, then Neos, and ending with Cosmos, or is Cosmos for which game first? Because it'll be the reverse, I think. Either way, I expect them all to be on DVD, and that's going to be rough to have 6 DVDs for Cosmos for 64 episodes. That's going to be rough. All right. Shin Gavin would actually work. You're thinking of Gavin G following his successor. Oh, no. Yeah, Jam. I know I was talking about Gavin G, but I was just saying we've already technically kind of had a new version of Gavin, and it sucked. But yeah, if it was a complete reboot, like Shin, then it might work. They killed off Sasuke, everyone, just for saying it's not so fair. Don't forget Neos. You know that those suits look ugly. Trust me, they send Neon Genesis God. I do mean Jin Kamen Rider Shin. Russian one or English versions of the Gundam presentation. Are you talking about my Gundam panels? Because if that's the case, if there's a dub available when it comes to a panel for anime, I feel like dubs are better in panels because the audience in the back of the room doesn't have to worry about not being able to read the subtitles. So unless I'm specifically showing like doing it for voice actor reasons, I do the English versions just because it's better for the audience. That's why also I try to make my panels, if I add my own subtitles in them, I try to make them as large as possible so people in the back can see them easily. Come on, Trainer Salad. Are you going to move into Power Rangers after finishing reviewing Super Sentai? I probably will do some more Power Ranger series after I'm done with Sentai. I wanted to review Lightspeed Rescue, like when I first watched Lightspeed Rescue, but that didn't happen. Already? Okay. So yeah, I'll eventually get to do more Power Rangers reviews. Anthony Serkis, favorite Shozo Lizuka Toku roles. I don't know that name off the top of my head. Who has she played? Shozo Lizuka? I don't know that name off the top of my head. Let's see here. Shozo Lizuka? Hold on a minute. Okay. Oh, voice actor. Okay. You're home early?
Yep.
Did you go to the post office?
Yep. Why do you make things out the cooler?
Because I grabbed water bottles to put in the fridge. Why are you home so early? You did the weird thing. All right, say hi. Here, let me move.
As you move to the messiness. Hello.
I already said we're moving, so everything's everywhere. Let's see. Oh, Nappa's voice actor. Okay. Oh, he was in Tekkaman Blade. Let's see. Toku rolls. Okay, let's see. Which characters has he voiced in these series? Okay. Oh, he was Satan Eagles in Battle Fever J. Let's see. Who else has he done? Resident Hell Satan. Goldhorn. Oh, he was Dolarum in Kamen Rider Black. I'll go with that one, Dolarum. Oh yeah, Don Horror. That's right. Okay, now I'm remembering his voice. But let's go with Balaram in Kamen Rider Black. Now that you're done watching 5, what Rider show you're going to review next? It'll probably be Drive. Because that's the one, since Kralik and I have never finished that one when it was airing, we're going to probably watch that one next.
After you're done, you want pizza?
From where?
Sure.
That's fine. Okay. I won't be done for a while.
No, you just started. I'll say it for a second.
I thought you were going to play Yakuza.
I am. I just want to see what kind of questions you're getting.
Okay, well, there's probably some ones for you now that you're here, and I'll probably not get to them to your Yakuza. But let's see. Okay, now that I just said let's see twice, apparently, for some reason. Apparently, according to an interview, Inoue hates Ultraman, doesn't like the idea of Kamen Rider riding motorcycles. I saw that post on Twitter. I don't believe it. It wouldn't surprise me, but I don't believe it. Either way, he's made so many good shows, it doesn't matter. Our Master, phew, I made it just 30 minutes late. How you doing, Kaiju? Loved your Fives review. Same as always, Arcana Master. Ricardo PJ, hi, Kaiju. Yo. Anthony Sarkis, do you think the most underrated section Kamen Rider Sentai is all the Showa series? Because I really see people talk about those shows. The underrated section, it depends on the show because not all the Showa series are all that great. Like really, Kamen Rider Showa era, as much as I like some of the series, they just don't compare, except most of them don't compare to the 2000s. So I think it's more you don't hear people talk about them because they don't watch them. They haven't had the chance to watch them. Some people don't know they've all been fan subbed. I'd say that, and there are people that are just like, but there are those people that are like, oh, I won't watch anything from before the year I was born. But you were born in 2009. Exactly. Hot take writer post Geimer like Bay formers. I don't know if I can agree, Russian. Are you. What? What? How did you do that? Kruk is playing Yakuza 0. Apparently, she put the game on suspended mode and turned it on and was in the middle of a battle. Okay. Are you enjoying Ultraman? Maybe yes. So far, it's not bad. Are you really specifically like a really booty? What? Okay, Gem Kill X. My biggest problem with forms is that a lot of them are mostly the same, but with one main difference, like Freezing Bear and Burning Tiger, even if they try to give stats that don't really matter. Yeah, there's a lot of forms in these shows that I just like, why? Why did we need that form? No, I think I'm in the enemy of Evangelion. Pokemon Trainer Sarah, what are some must-watch Ultraman shows for beginners? Orb, X, Tiga, 7. Thoughts on DS Multiverse? What do you mean by DS Multiverse? Inoue might write some messy stuff, but to give him credit, the man can write characters. However, them being likable or not is a completely different story. I think, Inoue is just a great writer when he wants to be. He can make characters on both sides of the spectrum. He can make ones you really just downright hate, and they'll be good guys. He'll make villains that you downright love, even though they're villains. Thoughts on Inoue or Sam Raimi doing Gundam? I have no opinion on it. That one. Sam Raimi, I don't think would do Gundam because it's completely out of his element. Nick Cooper, people can be downright rude and entitled. True. Neos came out before Cosmos for airing, per Sergeant 1234. So if Mill Creek were to go backwards, Cosmos would come out before Neos. All I know is one thing I am excited about is that Nexus or Mabius is the last 50 episode Ultraman series they had to release. Now Cosmos is 64, 65 episodes, but all the series they have left to do is less than I think even 40 episodes. I like it when I don't have a Toku series that's 50 episodes to review. I may be going to start getting on my own life. I'm about to movie star George, do the art, whatever Kamen Rider in, and Don Brothers Sentai. Cool. Arcana Master. Oh yeah, I finally finished Go Under. Glad that's over. One thing I did like was that the Go Under ending set up the Versus movie in Shinkenger. Yeah, I was so glad when I finished Go Under too. Pokemon Trainer said just beginning customizing Hasbro Dino Megazord to make it look show accurate to how Daijujin looked in June Ranger. Hopefully it goes well for me. Which Dino Megazord? Are you talking about the one in the VHS packaging? Because if so, I would love to get my 3 painted to be more show accurate. I would just love it if they would do Lightning Collection Zords that are fully posable Megazords based on the suits that come in a 2-pack with a monster that they fought. So, like the Thunder Megazord versus Lip Syncer, or the SPD Megazord versus Murloc. The Zeo Megazord versus Silo. I find it strange that we haven't seen any of the Avataro gears being used for a while. It's kind of refreshing, actually. Currently, Russian Monitor says hello, Krelika, which obviously she's already gone. Currently 13 episodes into my rewatch of Ghost Ager, not seeing it in a full for 10 years, and it's fine so far. It's definitely better than Go Onter, that's for sure. Yeah, Arcana, someone else mentioned Ghost Ager, and like I said, it's a decent show. It's worth a one-time watch. Guess everyone's going to maybe have to get on with their lives. I hope you all might have a good year. Super Saiyan, Science, and Kamen Rider. Thoughts on Zenkaiger? Come on, Russian. You know my thoughts on Zenkaiger. Pokemon Trainer said, one thing I want from Sentai is the threats to actually be threats instead of being a temporary annoyance. That's one thing I've been liking about Don Brothers so far, is that the villains actually feel threatening. Pokemon Trainer Sailor, if that one-time Ranger episode was made today, instead of people dying in the helicopter crash, they'd be sent into the Shadow Realm until the monster gets defeated. Probably. Yeah, that probably is true. If Toku's Persistimo calling Zenkaiger the Seinfeld Sentai, then Go Busters is the Turn A Gundam of Sentai. But Turn A Gundam's good. Supreme Omega. Let me move some of these. I'm caught up already, and it's not even an hour? Wow. Slow day. Works for me. Supreme Omega on 5. It should have been 10 episodes shorter. The whole Orphanaut King arc felt pointless. It should have ended with Takumi coming to terms with his Orphanaut nature in episode 40. I was okay with some of the stuff that occurred. Like I said, I think the Orphanaut Hunter should have appeared more like around episode 30. That would have made them a bigger threat. Then we could have had Takumi and gang. Then we had Kiba's Orphanaut Trio, Lucky Clover, and the Orphanaut Hunters all in a giant mishmash. I think that's how it should have been done. By the time the Orphanaut Hunters come in, they just kind of feel shoehorned in and are gone so quickly. It was kind of like, oh, well, then what was the point of them? I feel like Inoue got too ambitious with Fives, wanting to do some new stuff, and didn't know how to actually execute them fully. And by that point, and the King should have been. I didn't like the way the King was done. It made little sense. And we never even got an actual ending from Fives. Like, we never even see the final battle. Thoughts on Ultraman Mabius, since the whole Showa series from Ultra Q through Galaxy, how would you rate the Showa timeline as a whole? Well, the Showa... What, huh? What do you mean by Showa timeline? Like, do you mean the Showa series, or like all the series set in that one universe? Because I'm still questioning about Ultra 7 being set in that universe, just because Ultra 7 is supposed to be in the 80s, and it doesn't fit with the way Return and all of them go. But then again, I don't understand how they're changing organization names every year. It's like, you might be able bit inept if you have to keep changing your organization name yearly. Or do you mean like rating those series, like just doing a big rating of them? If so, I'd probably say 4 out of 5. Favorite Gold Ranger villain from Anthony Sarkis. Oh, Loki. No contest. It's Loki. Loki. Yeah, I like Loki. He's my favorite Gold Ranger, not Gal Ranger. Wow. Favorite Gold Ranger villain. Oh man, it's been so long. The train one. I love the train one. The train mask, Choo Choo mask, whatever his name was. Yeah, that would be my favorite villain from Gold Ranger. Why does Toei keep doing Sentai crossovers when every series except Denjimon and Folk can take place in their own universe? I don't know, Tokusatsu fan. Because they sell. I don't get it. I know it confuses people about that, but whatever. I just look at the movies as non-canonical extension movies. They're not meant to be canon. They're just meant to be fun little crossovers. Like kind of like Brave and the Bold. Think of the Brave and the Bold cartoon series for Batman. How those episodes would do different tones, different stories. They wouldn't always follow the same continuity. So that's how I look at it as. They're just there to be fun extras, even though sometimes they're not very fun. Hot take. O Ranger Robo over Jew Ranger. Okay. You mean Daijin Ryu? Or Daijin Ryu? Oh my god. Daijujin? There's apparently Ultra Cute Dark Fantasy. It aired after Cosmos and aired before Nexus. Yes, there is a series called Dark Fantasy. From my understanding, Subaraya does not have the ability to license it out internationally because of the television network that they've worked with owning half the show. And the network and the Subaraya had a falling out. Have you seen Don Dorogoku and Torabot Suit? I don't know who that is. Is that the Sixth Ranger? Who's gold and silver? Because I have seen the suit, but I haven't watched those episodes yet. Then Hibiki is the turn A of Rider. I can see that because Hibiki is a lot different, like turn A is. Alright, Supreme on 90s comics. I know you have your criticisms, but there was some good stuff, especially for DC. 90s DC is the best because it was a golden age of legacy heroes like Wally West and Kyle Rayner. I love Kyle Rayner and I love Wally West. I still think Barry is the better Flash, but I love the way they how Wally became Flash. I feel like the way they did it brought Barry back kind of undermined Wally's growth into Flash and kind of undid it. Kyle Rayner is my favorite Green Lantern. However, 90s DC also did the crappy stuff like kill Superman for sales, break Batman's back for sales, kill Green Arrow for sales, and technically they got rid of Hal Jordan for sales. So I would say, I actually think so. Silver Age DC is not bad. Bronze Age is like their peak. Then the 90s is when they really dropped. Got better again in 2000, but the moment they did the new 52, they've been going on a downward slope ever since, and even Rebirth couldn't fix their issues. So I haven't really done much of DC Comics in a decade now because most of it sucked. I mean, Swamp Thing was good. Animal Man was good. I did like the Forever Evil. Was that what they called the Justice Lord? Or not Justice Lord, the Crime Syndicate story. I did like that. But and Aquaman for Rebirth was pretty good, uh, but it's been, and then they completely screwed up Superman when they gave it to Bendis. So every time DC thinks they're about to do good and they seem like they're on the right track, they make a stupid ass decision that just completely undermines all of it. It's very frustrating. The villains in Dumb Brothers are refreshing. Hadn't been interested in villains since Rio and Melee back in Geki Ranger, Blade Runner, and Ghost Sager. It's close, but I have to finish Ghost Sager completely. Yep, I loved Rio and Melee, and then Enter and Go Busters. Oops. I just lost my piece. Pokemon Trainer. Would you consider Jude Ranger as an underrated show? I feel that people only see it as a kickstart to the sixth hero concept and starting Power Rangers officially. I do think it's underrated. I think people are turned off by it because of the Child of the Week plots, which I mean, I can't fully blame them for, but I really feel like if that's all they're seeing with the show, they are missing out on a lot of the other stuff going on. And there's a reason for why it's a Kid of the Week show. But I mean, it did so much other things like the Rangers. It was the first time the Rangers truly had to earn their mecha. Yes, it was the first time a Sixth Ranger became a permanent member. It was also, you also had the actress playing Bandora, who was a delight to watch on screen at all times. Yes, some of the Rangers are kind of underdeveloped, which is kind of sucks. But you know what? At that time, that they still had more development than the Rangers in the '80s had. So they were still testing out the waters of what to do with the Rangers. Supreme Omega on Hibiki. I feel in a way it gets too much blame for the second half because the blame should belong to Toei producers, and also it's hard to write a brand new story 30 episodes in. Yes, that's why I don't fully blame Inoue for Hibiki. I blame Shirakura for Hibiki and Toei. They got rid of everything that really made Hibiki special. Because Inoue's writing might have still been bad, taking over, but if the show still at least maintained the style that it had going for, with the black screens, the music going on, and they hadn't just given Hibiki a sword to use, they stuck to the musical themes, I really think it could have still continued being as good as it was, even with Kiria. But God, that ending for Hibiki sucks. Yeah, it's Six Ranger for Dawn Brothers. You had Daijujin. Anyone remember SpongeBob? Did you know SpongeBob was made by a gay person? No, I didn't, but that's actually kind of rude, Brennan, to actually say that, so I am not going to prove that post. But 90s Batman had Oracle, Nightwing, Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown, Cassandra Cain, AKL, the foundation of the Bat family. I loved the Cassandra Cain run. I used to have the graphic novels for her run and the Catwoman run from the early 2000s. And then my brother stole them all for drug money. Sargeman. As the whole Maybe It's an Ultra Galaxy, when I asked other Ultra fans about Maybe It's an Ultra Galaxy place in the timeline, they're both in the Showa timeline. I didn't know that about Ultra Galaxy, but I guess it makes sense. Or you're talking about Mega Monster Battle, right? That would make sense. And obviously, maybe it specifically mentions the Showa series. Let's see. Anthony Sarkis. I finished Ultraman Charo for a few months ago, and I did enjoy it. My only issues are, yes, the inconsistency with the Zap members, and some of the one-off characters were just huge assholes. Yeah, they were. But you know what, Taro, I don't understand how people can say Taro is any more childish than any of the other Showa Ultra shows. I mean, he punches a dude through the stomach. He rips a monster's stomach out. He rips baby crabs out of a crab monster and then turns them into a delicacy. How is that any more childish? Or how is that more childish than the stuff that goes on in Ace? Some of the stuff in Return of Ultraman. Granted, Return of Ultraman has less kiddish stuff, but how is that even? How is that more kiddish than the two-parter with Gamora in the first Ultraman series? I mean, those episodes revolve around a child. How is it more kiddish than stuff that goes on in Leo? So I don't understand how Taro is considered the childish Ultra series when it is more violent than Ace. I don't get it. All right. Also, they retconned 7 from its own thing to being a part of the timeline where Jack came out. See, yeah, that's the thing. But 7 to me just doesn't fit with the other Ultra shows because of the way it's presented. But then again, Ultraman shows a tombstone stating it's 1996, but then in Ace, they say it's 1973, 2, 3, something like that. So, but I still think 7 was in its own universe, especially because later series do now state that 7 can travel between the multiverse. So I'm still under the impression that 7 is in his own universe, which is why that the Heisei direct-to-video series does not acknowledge any other Ultra series, because in that universe only Ultra 7 was there. Russian Wanderer, when have you gotten into Gundam, or you have got? I got into Gundam in '99 when I checked out the movie trilogy and War in the Pocket 0080. So right before Cartoon Network brought on Gundam Wing. I started watching G Gun in 2016, but finished it at the end of last year. Wow, that took you a while to watch. But then again, God Mars took us like a year to get through. Kanamaster, do you believe that Hyuga is a Sixth Ranger, an extra hero to Ginga Man? Always saw him as the Sixth Ranger, and I don't get why. I always saw him as an extra hero. I never really saw him strictly as a Sixth Ranger, but then that could be because I always was told right online that he counted as an extra hero and not a Sixth Ranger before I even saw Ginga Man. It is kind of weird how they do that decision making on what's an extra hero and what's a Sixth Ranger, though, because Gosei Knight should definitely be an extra hero, not a Sixth Ranger. How come you prefer Barry Allen? Is it because you read the Bronze Age? Possibly. I just think Barry Allen is a much more interest. I mean, I love Wally, but I just think that I love the aspect of Barry being a CSI scientist, and I love his progression in the Silver Age. I also think the TV series from the 90s helped. But I love Wally as well. I especially loved Wally in Justice League Unlimited. Grelica is playing Yakuza 0 now, Russian, so she's not coming back. Also, Eight Brothers film is in its own thing, despite having Mabius in it. Oh yeah, I gotta watch that too when I finish Mabius. I won't forget that. What's a writer show that you are looking forward to review? Um, ooh, ooh. Which one am I looking forward to reviewing the most? Ryuki, probably, because I've been like really wanting to use my Highlander jokes in it. I just have to find a way to work them in without getting copyright claimed. And then Double. I've been wanting to watch Double again. I think my next Showa series is going to be Super One. I think I just want to get that one done and over with. Although X and Amazon is nice and shorter compared to Super One, but I think I really just want to get Super One done. All right. I did not know there was a. Wait, did I read the comic where Flash broke his leg? I might have. Oh, wrong Flash. Okay. Would you consider the 60s and 70s the golden age of Tokusatsu shows like me and other people think? I guess so. I mean, golden age. I always saw golden age as like the first era or so of a franchise. Like, golden age doesn't exactly mean it's the best era, but I could totally consider that. I mean, like, I don't think golden age of DC comics were all that great. They had moments, but I think they were the weakest era of DC and sometimes boring. Like, golden age Superman is very, very boring. It is funny to see him take on Nazis. Which alternate universe Gundam timeline? Man, only 13 people. Nobody wants to talk today. I thought there'd be like, usually there's like 20 at this point, or banging between like 17 and 20. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so I might end up finishing this up earlier than normal. Interesting. Okay. Where are we? Which alternate universe Gundam timeline needs more spin-offs and sequels? G Gundam, the Cosmic Era, After War Era, After Colony Era of Gundam Wing. Um, uh, I would like to see more. Let's see, I didn't like Gundam X, so I don't really care about that. Plus, technically, Gundam X is in the. I would like to see more from the Double O universe, actually. I would love to see more from that universe. G is not bad compared to God Mars. Oh, G Gundam is great. It's just not. It's just not my favorite Gundam series, but it is a good series. I don't have access to Facebook anymore due to sanctions. That sucks, Russian. But um, yeah, take down your overlord. Then you'll get your Facebook back. Take down your goddamn overlord. All right, Supreme, do you feel Crisis on Infinite Earths was a mistake? Sure, the post-Crisis era is cool, but Crisis created lingering continuity issues with the Legion and Donna Troy. No, I don't feel like I understand why they did Crisis on Infinite Earths back then, because DC was just out of control with all their universe plots and everything that they needed to streamline everything down. So I feel like it worked. I don't think the Legion or Donna Troy were at all affected by that. I mean, technically they were, but I don't think they needed to be because the Legion was still from the future version of the DC universe. So I don't think it created issues. I think Crisis on Infinite Earths was the best thing DC needed to do at that time because they just everything was an alternate universe story. Oh, that could be a universe story. That could be a Batman. Oh, that's an alternate universe story. That's an alternate universe story. But on the other hand, my fair era of DC is the Bronze Age. So, and that's pre-Crisis. So I'm not sure, but I think Crisis on Infinite Earths was great at the time because they were getting out of control with everything. Don Momotaro says a strange kind of red. I kind of found it jarring how he's calm, kind of dickish out of suit, then becomes a crackhead in a suit, but I quickly got used to it. Yeah, Don Momotaro is an interesting character. I like him. I also like how the show isn't fully focusing on him, which is something you don't see in a Sentai show usually. I love it. The reason for the tournament arc in G, it was due to Sunrise following the success of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, that's pretty much an obvious one against the wishes of the director. Well, I love that the director of G Gundam, he wanted to make G Gundam like he was told that he had to make all these Gundams to be brought out as toys. So he would just start making random designs to see if Bandai could actually turn it into a toy. I'm checking the Ultra Timeline thing, and Ultraman Gaia isn't its own thing. For Ultra 7, X is the original 7 comes in the parallel universe. Momotaro and Sonoi's plotline gives me some Hella Fives vibes. Oh, kind of like Kiba and yeah, I could see that Kiba and Takumi. All right. But isn't the DC multiverse cool? I love the 80s Earth 2 comics that Roy Thomas did with the All-Star Squadron. I love multiverse stories. I just really do think I mean, I read an article years ago about why Crisis on Infinite Universe happened. So I kind of understood where they were coming from with it. And I'm glad they brought it back, that they brought the multiverse back, which was great. But I totally got it. I am out of questions. Wow. I went through all this in an hour. That is amazing. Usually I'd be like an hour behind. This is actually shocking. Let's see. What else do I have to talk about? Well, I also think it's also because I didn't have to get the water, so that didn't delay answers. Oh my god. Maybe it's because I haven't had to get up to go grab stuff that people have been coming on, because that means I'm always on screen the entire time. Or it's just people are out. It's summer. I'll go through more questions in a moment. Hello, Games by Mark Wolf. Let's see. What else has been going on around here? We got approved for press badges for Fan Expo Denver, which used to be called Denver Comic Con. It used to be called Denver Pop Culture Con. That used to be called Denver Comic Con. I'm wondering if in 2 years they're going to change their name again. But we got approved for press badges for that, so we're planning to go there. The one person I really, really hope to meet that's going to be there is Tim Jacobus, who did all the artwork for the Goosebump books. I am super excited, and they just announced Jim Lee's going to be there, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to try to get my X-Men omnibuses signed by him. Maybe I'll see if I can buy a print from him. Um, let's see. What else? Hmm. I got for my birthday the first season of Night Gallery. So we've watched the first few episodes of that, and it's okay. There's some really, really good stories so far, and then there's a couple of really bad stinkers. I will say I'm actually kind of disappointed considering it's from Rod Serling. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to just be the Twilight Zone 2.0, but I was kind of hoping it would be in the same kind of writing quality as the Twilight Zone. There was one episode. There were a few episodes that felt like they were something that Serling would have done in Twilight Zone. Like my favorites include one with this painter who dies and starts possibly haunting his nephew who let him die. That was really, really good. There's one about a black bag, doctor's bag that comes from the future that was excellent. And then an interesting ghost story about a woman who's always dreaming about a house and comes across the house. And then there were some truly terrible ones, like one that tried to make us like this former Nazi, and the episode was good, but it was too long. And then one stupid ass story about space and a mousetrap on the moon. God, that was awful. Let's see. Like I said before, if you didn't hear me at the start, been packing up stuff to move to a new apartment. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Kamen Rider Black's ending is like Devil Zeta's ending. Okay. Recently watched Law. Whoa. Recently watched Raiders of the Lost Ark in full for the first time. It was great fun film to watch. Oh, Raiders is amazing. I don't know if you can see it over there. Well, hopefully my finger's pointing. Nope, not the creature from the Black Lagoon. Let's that way. Right there, I've got the IMAX poster from Raiders, which is pretty cool, and I have the little cards from the DVD set that have like the original poster covers from each movie, which is awesome. Oh, I guess I could have just did that. Oh wait, that's my mouse. That wouldn't show up on the stream. Duh. I love Raiders. I think it's one of the best movies ever made. Let's see. Post-crisis, with the Legion, how could they exist if Superboy and Supergirl were erased from canon? And with Donna Troy, her origin doesn't make much sense if you reboot Wonder Woman. There's still ways to do it. I mean, you could be right. See, the thing is with Superboy and Supergirl, I don't say they were totally erased from continuity. It's just that storyline no longer happened. They just never had Superboy or Supergirl there with them. What's the next Sentai review from Jenna's World? Jenna's World. I don't know. It's probably going to be either Go Busters or Q Ranger, but it most likely won't be until later this year. When will Shout resume their Sentai releases? I have no idea. And sadly, until they make an official announcement, they can't say anything. In Kaku Ranger, the Yokai read a magazine called Yokai Weekly. Can you please tell us everything you know about this magazine? It's about yokai, and it's weekly. Or it might be monthly. It's about yokai, and weekly or monthly. Pokemon Trainer, honestly, I think Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of the best soundtracks I've heard. Batman 89 comes very close. Nice. Why do you hate the O's movie? Because it's boring. Oh my god. The show was so exciting, and then this movie is just snooze inducing. Oh my god. It's so boring. Let's see, what? Oh, I can hear Kurika's Yakuza. She's currently doing the cabaret club with Majimai. Um, let's see, what else have I done or gotten recently? I've talked about pretty much everything, haven't I? Oh, one thing I got was pretty cool. Is Kino has been doing these film noir box sets. Whoops. So this has been pretty cool. Haven't had time to watch the majority of them yet, and I've got number 1 on pre-order, but still been pretty cool. We've watched, let's see, we've watched The Midnight Story, which was awesome. We've done Six Bridges to Cross. Actually, all 3 of them, and then An Act of Murder. This one was also really, really good. Act of Murder was interesting, but I think it's one of my least favorite film noirs I've seen. It was still good. It's just not one of my favorites. But there's a lot of truly great film noirs. So saying something's not my favorite is still quite an accomplishment. I mean, it's like a bad Yakuza game. Even the worst Yakuza games are like better than most of the video games out there. Let's see, what else? Just moving. In fact, maybe next month's live stream Q&A, I'll title it Moving Sucks Q&A. Okay. What's your favorite Super Sentai ending theme? Deka Ranger. Or the Gokaiger. Well, the Gokaiger. Let's go with Gokaiger. The Gokaiger ending theme. Yes. Do you watch current Power Rangers, man? Actually, Emmanuel Sebi, I have not gotten to watch any recent Power Ranger series. The last series I watched in full was Samurai. I only watched pieces of Mega Force and was not a fan of that one. And the only thing I watched from Ninja Steel was the 2-part crossover episodes. Never watched anything. Oh no, I did watch the first episode of Dino Charge, and then the first 2 episodes to Beast Morphers, but nothing since Beast Morphers episode 2. It's just busy. Haven't had time to do it, and Power Rangers is not like one of my priorities. Although I really would like to actually sit down and watch all of Beast Morphers. Supreme Omega. On Gundam Seed Destiny, if you had the power to remake it into a better show, what would you change and fix? I would get rid of all the clip shows. I would make Shin Asuka grow up, or not make him annoying to begin with. And I would not have Kira take over the show halfway through, to the point where Shin Asuka was utterly pointless. JamKel X, if you could get a modern take on a classic anime, Rasafan Raiden or Gurren Lagann, what would you pick? I would like to see Dairuger 15 actually. Well, actually, I mean, yeah, I would love to see Dairuger 15 get a new take because I love the concept of 15 robots combining into one. Or Tekkaman Blade would be cool. No, or do you mean So basically, a remake or a new anime that has elements from a previous anime. Because, yeah, like I'm think let's see, Jamcal. Let me get back to you on that in a moment. I'll go through these other ones and get back to you. So yeah, do you mean just like a remake of an older series? My favorite Sentai ending theme is Deca Ranger, Kaku Ranger, and Time Ranger. Let's see. Oh, Die Ranger, not Deca Ranger. Die Ranger. Do you think they should have brought James Franco to Grace back? No. Nope, 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 nope. I hate both of those versions of the character. I don't like James Franco Harry, and I don't like Topher Grace's embarrassment of Venom. I would take James Franco over Topher Grace if I had to choose, though. But I actually don't like either of their interpretations of those characters. James Franco, I just felt did not feel at all anything like Harry, and Topher Grace. Topher Grace would have been better as Ben Riley um, than Eddie Brock. But obviously, if you're going to do Ben Riley, it would just be the person playing Peter playing Ben Riley. But yeah, I don't think Topher Grace was fit at all for Eddie, and I wasn't a fan of James Franco as Harry. He just didn't feel like Harry to me. What was the most disappointing Toku show that you have watched? For me, that's Gold Ranger, cool designs, but God, was it Gal Ranger. The worst Toku series I have ever watched, or most disappointing, so not necessarily the worst. The most disappointing Toku series that held a lot of potential. Well, the most disappointing is going to have to be Hibiki because of how second half went. I love Hibiki. It most likely would break my top 10 Kamen Rider shows because the first 29 episodes are so damn good. But it is disappointing. It is a very disappointing show of how it goes. Now, if you just mean disappointing as in worse, that would be Ultra 7X and Go Raigan, Shogeki Go Raigan. But most disappointing would go to Kamen Rider Hibiki just because of how much potential it had that was tossed out the window. Okay. On the Legion, I wish they had more love because without them, there is no X-Men Teen Titans. I mean, Jim Shooter got his start with writing Legion at age 14, but they never recovered from Crisis. X-Men... Was X-Men created because of the Legion? Because my understanding is the Doom Patrol was created because of X-Men. I wasn't under the impression X-Men was created because of a DC series, but they always copied off each other, so it's possible. But yeah, I feel like the Legion is very underrated. I loved the run from the mid 2000s of Legion of Superheroes that I feel got what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the term. I'm trying to think. Like I'm thinking of in my head for the 2000s Legion series But either way, I felt like when they brought Supergirl into it, the series lost its luster. Because then it was a Supergirl series with the Legion again, not just a Legion series. But I really liked that Legion series from the 2000s. Kamen Rider 64. Yo, dude. Are there going to be any more Sentai released to DVD? Sadly, I have no idea. Tim Stalling 75. That's up to Toei, Shout, and Hasbro. I would love there to be more, but Supreme Omega on both Seed and Seed Destiny. Nobody seems to complain about Atherin. I wonder why. I have no problems with Atherin, so that's why I don't complain about him. He's the template for Lelouch. Pokemon Trainer said, I think Kaku Ranger has the best ending theme in my opinion. Okay, cool. Jim, I'll get yours in a moment. Kaku Ranger is a great opening theme. 64, how's it going? It's going good. It's hot. It's like 90 degrees out. My hair is frizzing up because of it. Moving sucks because we've been packing up to move to a new apartment and all that stuff. All right, hold on. Actually, Brian Vasquez, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Jam Killax, okay. Okay, new anime that takes elements and concepts to work with into new inspired shows. Rastafan was considered a modern version of the classic Raiden. Moon Invaders, Clay Mecha. Interesting. I've actually never heard that comparison. I just know that everyone says Rastafan is Evangelion, but good, which I agree with. So an older anime, elements from an older anime put into new form. Then I'm gonna go with Tekkaman Blade because I really would love to see a new anime that has elements similar to Tekkaman Blade, has the Earth get conquered by the villains halfway through, and then it's basically a rebellion force trying to get rid of the villains from Earth. So yes, I would love to see a new anime that takes elements from Tekkaman Blade. Kamen Rider 64, remember, I got to check out your Fives review. Awesome, I hope you enjoy it. Thoughts on the 2004 DC event Identity Crisis? Because it's a very divisive story with some people loving it and some people really hating it. Let me put these back while I think of my answer. Let's see. Let's see. Identity Crisis, I didn't hate it. I thought it was a well done story, but I focused more on the Adam elongated man portion than I ever did with the Justice League erasing people's memories. I thought it was a well-written story. I thought the way it played off made sense. I enjoyed it, but I can totally understand if somebody hated it. It's just like Sins Past for Spider-Man. I totally get why people hate Sins Past, especially having read the Silver Age run of Spider-Man. At the same time, though, I don't think Sins Past makes any sense because Gwen was not in Europe long enough to have kids. So I don't think, I don't think it makes sense anymore now reading the Silver Age stuff. But I enjoyed that story arc for what it was when it first came out. I could totally understand why people hated it. It does have some creepy elements going on. But I guess anyway, it doesn't matter now because it's been the truth has been written for that story anyway. Because I guess it is that they were actually clones, they just didn't know it. All right. When Japan and Disney had Power Rangers, do you think they were already aware of the next Sentai that would adapt into Power Rangers? I think they were. I think once, I'm pretty sure after Lost Galaxy, they were paying more attention to what the next show truly encompassed, since they advertised space for In Space, and then it turned out that the show was not a space show, but just a video game show. And then they advertised a Lost Galaxy, but the whole show was still set on Earth. So I think that's why Lightspeed Rescue just was more like down to earth, literally. So I think they did for a while. I think they went crazy when they saw Go Onger and were like, how the hell are we supposed to adapt this? But they found a way, and they made it one of the best Power Ranger series. What time is it? I'm getting hungry. Pokemon said, just finished watching your Fives review. I didn't know that they changed the song used in Sawada's Massacre. Yeah, you wouldn't. Most people, unless you actually saw the show with TV rips, which I did because I was watching some bootleg Hong Kong DVDs for the show for the first 30 or so episodes until I was able to actually start downloading fan subs because we upgraded our internet. I only knew of the soundtrack, so when I bought the DVDs, because I was buying the Region 2 DVDs for Fives, and when I got to those episodes, I'm like, that's not the music that was in those scenes. No, I thought it was Cypress Hill. I thought that was no, that was Cypress Hill that was in the. He was listening. I was like, he was listening to Insane in the Membrane because for some reason that's what stuck in my mind for rap music was Insane in the Membrane. So I'm thinking he was listening to Insane in the Membrane. Obviously, he wasn't listening to Insane in the Membrane, but close enough. But either way, I was like, that's not the music that was in there. It was a different song. So, but those TV rips were gone, so I had no idea that somebody had actually used the original broadcast audio for some fan subs recently. Because I went on Twitter and asked people, like, yeah, does anyone have the original audio? And I thought first, I'm also thinking, well, maybe I was crazy in thinking that the audio was changed. Maybe I am thinking of a different series. But nope, I was correct. So I was like, I have to put that in my review for the show. But yeah, they changed songs, and because I guess they only paid to use that music for broadcasting, not for video. Copyright's a weird thing. I don't understand why you would only have rights for it for broadcast and not for video release. But then again, there was a series called Airwolf that was supposed to come out on DVD like back in like 2008, but they didn't have all the rights to the music, so they couldn't release it on DVD. And because it was a mono soundtrack, they couldn't remove the copyrighted music they couldn't use. It's just like Godzilla 1985. They can't remove the music that was plagiarized, and it was plagiarized because even the guy who dubbed 1985 in America completely states they pirated the music from DEFCON 4. So it's kind of weird how those things work. I mean, Godzilla 85 is a special case because they straight up pirated the music. But you'd think that when they would get the license, that they buy the music for the show, they could use it in the show, whether it's on video or broadcast. Let's see. Anyway, where am I? I got to go pick up some arcade token samples. Might not be back before you're done, but checking if I do. See ya, Games by Mark Wolf. Never got the dislike for 01. I I have to sneeze? Hold on. I might have to sneeze. I apparently don't have to sneeze. Okay, I don't have to sneeze. All right. Where was I reading? Never got the dislike for 01. I loved it so much when it first aired, but apparently people didn't like it. Apparently people hated Naruto because he was a CEO. I don't get it. Yes, 01 does have its issues, and yes, there were things affected by COVID. That second arc is a slog to get through. But overall, it is a solid show. I I don't think it deserves all the hate it gets. But then again, I don't think XA deserves all the love it gets. That's just me. I had somebody got pissed off at me on Twitter because I didn't say Shin Godzilla was the greatest disaster movie ever made. It is the movie among gods. It is the most thought-provoking movie ever made. They didn't like it because I talked about issues with it, and they're like, "Wow, it's supposed to be like that." Okay, just because it's supposed to be like that doesn't make it good. And then someone called me the banned R word, which I'm curious to see if Twitter will keep up there or not. um, Russian Wanderer, thoughts on Zeta Gundam's two original OP themes? I've actually never heard the opening themes to Zeta Gundam because they're not available in the US. Sunrise was not able to give neither Bandai nor Rightstuf the license for the Zeta Gundam openings. I've never went on YouTube to listen to them, so I actually don't know what the opening songs sound like. It's like the opening theme to Speedgrapher. I've never actually heard it before. I've only heard the one that Funimation was allowed to use on their DVDs, which is another underrated anime series that more people need to see and needs to come out to freaking Blu-ray already. Let's see. Send Flash. Thoughts on Gundam Wing? Because some critics feel the only reason it was popular is because it was the first Gundam to air in the US. I slightly agree with the critics on that. Gundam Wing is not a great show. It has great designs. The music is phenomenal. And I like Duo, but Gundam Wing is not exactly great. Too much reused stock footage. I hate the character shields on everyone. I mean, perfect example of the character shields in Gundam Wing. There's an episode where the mobile dolls are just blowing up Leos left and right. Just boom, boom, boom. Like one-hit kills. Trace gets into a Leo, starts walking towards the mobile dolls. He's taking hit after hit after hit after hit, and it's just getting little marks. He blows up all the mobile dolls. But if the mobile dolls were blowing the Leos up in one-hit kills, like 10 of them beforehand, why didn't the Leo blow up in one-hit kill just because Trace was in it? And then there's Relina just opens up a school off screen. Like, when did she even get control of the Song Kingdom to open up a school? And when did she open up the school? Brian Vasquez, I hope you're doing great. Also, I missed you doing Sailor Moon reviews on it. Sailor Moon reviews, that's because there's nothing else for me to review in Sailor Moon. Sadly. Russian Wanderer, Wings openings were the epitomes of 90s music, while Joy Breaks Bell was for the 2000s. I love Just Communication and the other one, whose name I can't seem to recall at the moment. Revolution? No. I can't think of it now. Thoughts on One More Day? The day Spider-Man died. Geki Ranger, no contest Pokemon trainer. Geki Ranger. Jungle Fury was decent, but doesn't have anywhere near the sophistication of Geki Ranger. Although I did love RJ in Jungle Fury. Emmanuel Sebi, how do you feel about Ultra Zords? Because I hate Ultra Zords. They don't use all the Zords in this pieces like Mega Force or Ninja Steel. I don't like the combination. Like, if they were fine in earlier Sentai, when they were utilized occasionally as like the ultimate killing the machine, when you have like a big bad that cannot be killed by regular means. But then they just became your normal combined form where they just like somehow attach everything just to attach it. Like, check out, there's a YouTuber who took all the Ryu Sager dinos and found a way to connect all the toys into one giant clustered combined form. It wasn't in the show. He just took all the toys and put it into a combined form, and it shows exactly everything wrong with full ultra modes, essentially, in modern Sentai shows. Again, it's not from the show, but he found a way to make every figure stack and combine, and it's awful, and yet intriguing to see how he managed to just connect every toy, even though they never happened in the show. On Spidey, Norman Osborn should have stayed dead. His death in 1973 with being impaled by the glider is a fitting end. I agree. There was no need to bring Norman back at all again. I don't like... Norman Osborn was the one character that should have... Well, Norman and Gwen. But okay, Gwen clones, fine. But Norman should have stayed dead. Dead, deed. He had no business being brought back. But then again, it's the same thing with Jean Grey. She should never have been brought back. But Norman, he was succeeded by Hobgoblin, by Kingsley. There was no need to bring Norman's Green Goblin back. Harry was Green Goblin a couple times. Then you had this psychiatrist, that was Green Goblin. There was no reason to bring Norman back. Hobgoblin, Kingsley, was the successor. That was it. You didn't need to do it again. You think Disney actually saw Shinkinger back in 2009 when they were filming RPM? I don't know. From my understanding, Disney was pretty much done with Power Rangers before RPM was even in development. So I don't even know if they paid attention by that point. Brian Vasquez, what is your favorite? When is your favorite villain in Sailor Moon in the Phillies? What? What is my favorite Sailor Moon villain? If that's what you mean, Prince Demand and Nihilinia. And Mistress Nine. Don McCullen, for American shows have the same copyright problems. Yeah, I don't get it, Don. I really don't get it. I guess even iZombie ran into that issue, which is why seasons 4 and 5 have never been released on Blu-ray. Which sucks, because that show needs a freaking complete collection, because that show is worth buying if the whole goddamn show was released. I remember Threshold using some similar to Peter Gabriel digging in the dirt when they could not use the legit recording. An Identity Crisis. Tim Drake never recovered when they killed his dad because it missed the whole point of what made Tim different from the other Robins. He was the everyman Robin with the living parent. Yeah, that was actually kind of a letdown. Because then he did just become a Robin. I love 01, but it was hindered by time and COVID. That it was. It's because people don't want to even consider a morally good CEO. This is true, Jam Cal. I mean, look at me. Okay, I'm not morally good, but still. Don McCullen, the contest was meant to set up the lead's exile from the company that fights his dream and goals. Yep. On the infamous 90s Clone Saga, if you had the power to remake it into a better story, what would you change, what would you fix, and what would you remove? I would remove the entire story and start anew. Okay, I like the idea of Ben Reilly. Peter, Mary Jane, Mary Jane's pregnant. They go off. That's the end of them. No more Peter Parker. No more of them. They moved to Oregon. They're good. They're gone. We're not bringing them back. We're sticking to Ben from this point forward. Peter has passed on the spider powers, the Spider-Man mantle to Ben Reilly. I would then have Ben Reilly just go on with his life instead of, oh my God, I was a clone, I was a clone, I was a clone, I was a clone, or I lost. Actually, that's actually one thing they didn't do. Now I haven't finished the Clone Saga yet. I've still got the final volume to read, but they dropped the whole aspect of him like talking about like trying to live what he's missed out on after the first few issues of that. So I would have actually had to delve into more of him digging into himself to see what type of life the clone had lived beyond Mary Jane for all this stuff. But then again, I probably would not have made that he was made it that he was the original Parker and Parker was the clone. I would not have even done that story aspect. I would have just done it that Peter passed the mantle of Spider-Man onto his clone, which was Ben, and have Ben grow from that. That Ben is now trying to find his own new life in New York City because Peter has gone. He's trying to be as good a Spider-Man as he can, learning then what Jameson is like, and going from there. What would I remove? The bad writing. The constant four-parters. I don't know why they had this obsession with every storyline had to be a 3 or 4-parter. Like I would get rid of the symbiote planet one. That made no sense. It's way too. It got way too convoluted. Like there was one issue, which was a Christmas issue, in Volume 3, that was really I thought was really good. I was like, wow, this is probably the best Clone Saga, Clone storyline issue I have read of the entire run. It was really good. So yeah, that's what I would have changed. I would have just kept it permanent. Peter and Mary Jane are in Oregon with their baby, and they're gone for good. You occasionally might have them pop up every now and then because they're coming back to New York to visit family or something. But Ben's his own life. That's what it is. None of this, oh, well, he's the real Peter stuff. Okay, yeah, what is your favorite Sailor Moon villain, Brian? As I said, Prince Demand, Nihilinia, and Mistress None. Oh, and Supreme, I hope that answered your question of what I would have the Clone Saga be like. Do you think there should be a Tokusatsu streaming service? There is one. It's called Tubi, Shout Factory TV, Tokusatsu. So yes, there is a streaming service. You sneeze on a Leo and it explodes. Bronze Age DC or Bronze Age Marvel? Ooh, 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 ooh. Ow, my leg. Let's see. Oh God. You know what? I've got to go with Marvel because the Claremont run of X-Men is hands down, I think, the greatest comic stories I have ever read. So I've got to go with Marvel on that one because of X-Men. But the Bronze Age, you can't go wrong. I mean, DC, you've got the best era of Batman, like with Ra's al Ghul's creation. The Joker is a legitimate villain again. You've got crap, what is it called? You've got all the storylines going on with Flash and Reverse Flash, with the trial for him killing Reverse Flash. Swamp Thing is created. Jonah Hex is created. Justice League had some truly outstanding stories. Let's see. The new Teen Titans were created in that time period for the Bronze Age. So, and that was one of DC's best runs. The Spectre had his best runs when he was in Adventure Comics because they were actual horror stories. House of Mystery, House of Mystery, House of, oh my God, House of Mystery, House of, I can't think of the other one. You had those ones going on. So DC had a wonderful Bronze Age. Marvel had a wonderful Bronze Age because beyond X-Men, you had Spider-Man was still top notch with everything that Rose Andrew and not Roy Thomas. I kept saying Roy Thomas for some reason. I can't think of the writer now. I just finished reading a lot of the books he did. But there's Spider-Man stuff with Gwen Stacy's death, the first Clone Saga, which was actually well done. Tarantula and Punisher's stuff, Kingpin's return, Silvermane's introduction with Green Goblin being a psychiatrist, the entire Hobgoblin saga from Roger Stern, the symbiote suit, which I did not know was only like 9 issues long until recently. I thought he had the symbiote suit from Secret Wars all the way until Venom's creation. I never realized until more recently that the symbiote suit was only 9 issues, and the black suit he wears when we're getting up to Venom's creation was actually just a cloth suit that he created. So that was something I learned not too long ago. But then you had Captain America with in the Bronze Age with Arnim Zola's return. Daredevil was 80s was peak Daredevil. Frank Miller and Janice, was that her name? Janice Klaus? No. Klaus was the one that worked with Daredevil with. God damn it! What was her name? She created Typhoid Mary and I'll have to look at my books, but oh, cool, awesome. But yes, Daredevil was peak in the Bronze Age. But I'm going to have to give it to Marvel because of X-Men. Other characters in Gundam who have plot armors are Jesus Yamato and Patrick Cornelier. Yeah. Have you heard of YouTube channel Trek Yards? I have not. What is it about? The Ultras is all about toys. Everything's all about toys. Merchandise, merchandise, merchandise. Where the real money is made. I have heard of Change Around Pokemon Trainer. In fact, I believe I've downloaded the whole series fan subbed. Bulkinger, no contest. Pokemon Trainer Salad, Operation Overdrive is just a complete chore to sit through. Let's see. All right, I'm going to finish up here because I am getting hungry. Oh, wow, it's after 1. Yeah, I'm going to finish up here, guys. All right. I've seen a video of a guy combining all the Ghost Age Max into Ultrazord form. I was thinking of how much the suit actress bills would be if that was a thing. Yeah, that's what I thought with the Rio Soldier one. In your view, what is the difference between Kamen Rider and Ultraman in terms of themes and style? Well, Ultraman doesn't usually have main villains. Kamen Rider does. Kamen Riders are also usually they're powered by their villains. Whereas Ultraman are space cops. They're the Green Lantern Corps of Tokusatsu. They're powered by their own planet. Would you want a Die Ranger remake? No. I mean, they already technically kind of did that with Shinkenger, But no, I would not trust I would not trust modern day Toei to do a proper Die Ranger remake. I just don't think they would do it. They would just it would lose all of its originality, its luster. And now maybe if Sugimura was still alive to do it, he could. But I don't think any of the shows, the Sugimura shows, should be touched. Gosei versus Shinkenger was written by Nin Gio. What are your thoughts on the Gates rumor stuff? Oh, for the next Ultraman series, um, I've got no opinion on it. I don't usually get invested in rumors until I actually see pictures of the suits. Man, people are shitting on No Way Home again due to game release in theaters. Never understood the hate for Tom Holland Spider-Man. I feel people just hate him. Yeah, that's all people seem to do. It's not Tobey Maguire, so they just hate. And plus, people hate on the MCU because it's successful. On the clone, like I understand if you're burnt out on Marvel movies, fine, but it's not that Marvel's fault. They most of their movies are well written and make money in theaters that people want to go see them. Don't blame the writers because the problems came from the marketing department who turned a short 6-month arc into a 2-year long mess. Yes, I know all about that. And it is a very 2-year long mess. Like I said, it shouldn't even been that. It could have just Ben Riley was the new Spider-Man. End of story. No more of this retconning this shit 2 years later. End of story. Peter Parker occasionally shows up to help out. They didn't have to have him get rid of his powers. He just shows up to help out. I do get the climax of Zero One overcome fear, so you don't become hateful. The main villains thrive on fear and hate. The hero needed his own change after losing Izu. I agree. What would you consider the best part of the late 80s to mid 90s dark age or dork edge of comic? I don't know what you mean by that, actually, Jam. I've never heard of that term before. Dork edge? Don't forget about the denim. Denim. All right, let's get the rest of these, and then I'm gonna go so I can eat. If you make an Illuminati team with a group of anime characters, who would you add? Kaiba. So Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh, Frieza from Dragon Ball. Let's see, who else would I add? Jigen from Lupin. I like Jigen. He's awesome. Alucard from Hellsing. Let's see, what else? Who else could I add? Would I add in there? Robin from One Piece. And let's pick one more. One more. Oh, now I sneeze. Okay. One more character. Judao from Double Zeta Gundam. Gundam Double Zeta. Okay. Trek Yards is a web address. Interesting, but yeah, I've never heard of it. On the 80s New Teen Titans run, Wolfman Shelf left at the same time as Perez because after Judah's contract and the Terror of Trigon, there's not much more you can do. I think there was, well, those were the big stories of the New Teen Titans run. I think there was more they could have done, but DC didn't want to have it. Spaceballs 2. Yes, I know about Venom. It's kind of funny to think that Kamen Rider would have never happened if Shocker would have brainwashed Takeshi Hongo before turning him into Ichigo. Oh my god, there's a scene in this anime called Miss Karaitsu in the Monster Development Department where there's a scientist who is in a bar and he's like, "Oh man, I got fired from my job all because I forgot to brainwash our subject before I turned him into Grasshopper Man." So, instead of dealing with Mephisto, would you mind if Aunt May died? I think Aunt May needs to die in Spider-Man. I think it's time. You know what? They killed her off in the 90s for the Clone Saga, brought her back. Then they killed her off in Civil War just to bring her back. I think it was time that when you made the decision to kill her off in Civil War, she should have stayed dead at that point because it's boring. It just doesn't make sense. She made sense back at the time when Peter was younger, but now when he's older, she doesn't need to be around. That's why I'm glad the video games and the movies have gone the direction they did. Do you think the whole thing of celebrities being regular people at the end of the day also applies to people with celebrity status? Yeah, everyone is just technically a regular person, but it's their attitude that makes or breaks their celebrity status. Their attitude is what defines them, and if their attitude is sour, then they're a sour individual. Like Neil Adams, that guy is an amazing artist. But when I met him at Denver Comic Con, he was a completely unlikable asshole. He treated people at his table like dirt unless he knew they were going to buy something. And so he let his fame go to his head. And it soured my experience with him. Meanwhile, I have another guy Joe Giella, who worked on Silver Age Flash comics. Not really familiar with the guy. I met him and he was phenomenal. He was a great guy, very down to earth, he loved talking about stuff. I mean, and he never treated anyone at his table like they were just there to give him money. It was fantastic. So I really feel like celebrity status really is just who you are as a celebrity will define if you're an asshole. It doesn't matter how much good stuff you do, you're still an asshole. You could do low stuff, and if you're a great person about it, then look at Logan Paul. That dude is a completely worthless piece of shit. He does not deserve the celebrity status he gets. There are so many other people out there that deserve more attention compared to people like him who don't deserve what they get. All right, I should probably get off on my soapbox of that because I am hungry. Early 90s Sentai just left terrifying children, and I kind of missed that. Agreed, and people actually died in 90s Sentai. Have a good one, Don McCullen. You too. Directors, writers, singers, and people who are famous on the internet. Oh yeah, totally. Do you like the look of the Lost Galaxy Battleizer? Because my Real Soldier Ultrazord resembles it. I am not actually a fan of any Battleizer modes, really. I'm not. I think the Battleizer modes always look terrible or mediocre. Dork Edge is just the name for the ultra gritty, edgy, dark age of comics. Oversized guns, pouches everywhere, every Rob Liefeld made. I grew up on 90s comics for the most part, so I never really thought about it. I just enjoyed this. Well, my 8-year-old through 15-year-old brain enjoyed that stuff at the time. I still think Wildcats was a great series, regardless of the art. I sometimes wish that we got a Sentai where we had members from start to finish. Like, it would be cool. Which is better, Battle Fever J or Son of Oak? Battle Fever J, no contest. Have you heard of the Gundam Z's Double Zeta's English dub? I have. It's one of those horrible. It's horrible. It's atrocious. Which of the Justice League is your favorite? Satellite era of the 70s or the probably the 70s, because that's again the Bronze Age era, and that's my favorite era of DC. Also, instead of one more day, would you mind Peter today and just remember because I feel the story? I don't even think they need to divorce. I mean, they were already divorced and they just got back together. I think the killing of MJ or Aunt May should have fully brought them back completely. My problems with Better Lies Are Lies and how special they make the bread and how obviously tacked on they are. Yeah, I hated the oversized muscular one in space. Die Ranger or Go-Onger, I wonder which one you'll pick. Yeah, I don't even need to say that. You know. All right. If you had the power, how would you revitalize Kamen Rider for the 2020s and beyond? I would go back to having drama stories mixed with the Toy Explosion merchandise they need to have these days. Actually, Revice, I think, is doing it really well. Revice, I feel like, is a combination of that. So I'd say do what Revice is doing. But you never know. Revice still has like 10 episodes. It could fall apart by then. Anyway, I am done here. I'm going to go get some lunch. Thank you guys for chilling here and watching me sweat, not from your questions, from the heat. I got to pack this guy away in the styrofoam wrapping to get ready for moving. So I don't know if I'll have him out for the next Q&A session. Not that I really used him today. And like I said, maybe I think I might just name the next live stream Moving Sucks. So as always, until next time, I do my little bye and then I go, oh, I got to hit end stream. So bye. And now I'm going to hit end stream. And end. There we go.